definitely we are always targeting to reach either decisions or to make estimates. So if it's making decisions, then it's based on the information collected, the facts collected, and then we are building that team based on the situation. The estimates, sometimes we need somebody to estimate what's the effort needed, for example, for a certain job, so we can know what are the needed resources, maybe how long it needs to be done, how much it might cost to finish that project or that task. And the best source of information for those estimate guys is the team, because the team are doing the task and they usually do this task, so they know whatever evolving and what are the circumstances that they might be facing. They know the risk, they know the level of effort, they know the potential pitfalls, they know, let's say, the consumables needed, they know how much it costs and what will make it delayed, what will make it running smooth. So they know everything surrounding or evolving around the, let's say, the task that they will be doing. So me as a project manager, I'm not going to decide how long it will take me to complete that project, how much it will cost me to build that project or that solution. I'll be getting back to my team to help me in the estimates and the estimation of that task, whatever, and I'll be taking or making the decision based on their input. Sometimes in the traditional environment, you are estimating the hours of effort. For example, you're building a certain, let's say, parking building, and you want to know how long it will take and how much it costs. You are going to estimate the hours of effort. And some of the techniques that you're going to be using, 3 points estimating, where you will be having 3 inputs, and you will be making sure that you have the optimistic input, the most likely input, and the pessimistic input. The best option possible to happen, the worst option possible to happen, and the most likely option that will happen. And to this extent, you will have the average of those 3. So you'll be summing them up and divide them by 3. This is very simple mathematical equation. So guys, for you, the question is yours now. Let's say that for a PMP course, which is our project, you are the project manager and you have 3 reads. You have 35 hours to complete, and you have 70 hours to complete, and you have 22 hours to complete. What estimate of how long it should be completed? We'll have it 22 plus 70 plus 35, and this will be divided by 3. The best estimate was, so it's 42.3. And this is one of the equations that you might be asked about in the exam, where I doubt you will have a calculation question, but you will have it. If it asks you, you are estimating for, let's say, the hours of effort, the cost of the project, the number of resources, the number of weeks, whatever the question is about, and we want you to use the 3 points estimate in order to know how long it will take, how much it will cost, or whatever. So this is the equation for the 3 points estimating technique. If they ask you to use a PERT technique, then this will give you more weight, guys, on the most likely. You will have the optimistic plus 4 times the most likely plus the pessimistic. This will be divided over 6, because now we'll have 1 plus 4 plus 1 is 6 items. Then the average is divided by 6. So for the same equation, guys, you have 70 and you have 35 and you have 22. What is the result of the PERT technique? We have estimated this 3-point estimating and the PERT estimating. Sometimes we'll have other methods like analogous and parametric. Parametric, they will be telling you like this project will be costing you 3 times any other project in this area. So you have a parameter to multiply or to divide on. Analogous, you will be going with some other projects which is similar to the one that you are working, and you will see how much does it cost to do the same building. Bottom-up estimating is the most important one and the most accurate estimate, guys. All of those are conceptual, and those will happen at the beginning of the project to have an idea before going with the contractual agreement. But you are building a certain project, construction, IT website, as you move to the contractual part and you start to kick off, you cannot rely on those estimates. You can rely on the bottom up because it's coming from the breakdown structure, the work breakdown structure, which we call WBS, by the way. And this will be breaking down your project into smaller packages. Those smaller packages are more manageable and easier to estimate and easier to assign people to, and will be used in the planning as well. Those smaller levels of the project, so if it is, for example, a project of building a villa, and this will be, for example, let's say design package, this will be construction package, management package, and operation package. In the design, you will have, for example, architecture and structure and mechanical and electrical. In architecture, you will have, for example, facade and interior design. In interior design, you will have, for example, rooms, salons, toilets, and lobbies. In lobbies, you will have, for example, larger than 100 square meter and let's say less than 100 square meter. So you are breaking down your project or decomposing your project into smaller packages, which are easier to manage and easier to be estimated. If you estimate for each of those packages, then you sum them up, you will have the higher level. Then you have the higher level. If you sum them up, you will have the higher level. Now you have the higher level. If you sum them up, you will have the higher level. Now you have those. If you are summing them up, you will have the higher level. Now you have this higher level. If you sum them up, you will have the total cost or the time needed for the project. And this is what we call bottom up, because you are starting from the lowest level, which we call work package. You are summing up until you reach the upper level, which is the highest one. So it's a bottom-up estimate. Because you are estimating for the smallest packages until you reach up, so this is the most accurate one, where you'll have the best information to estimate based on, and this will help you to get that accurate information. This happens in traditional and in predictive environment. But in the agile environment, which we have explained last time, you are not using specific time estimates or units of time. You are using something we call story point technique, which will use some points. The more points you have, the more effort that you will be spending. The more points you have, the more time you will need for the iteration. But at the end of the day, you have a specific time box for the iteration, which is 1 to 2 weeks, which means if you cross this time box in the estimating, you have to break it down into more iterations. And this is an abstract used in the Agile because you don't have the specific unit of time for the estimating.